Hey guys, I'm Ryan Jackson. I'm Metro Texas #1 trap house buyer, and I'm back to bring you when and why you should buy your first rental property. Hey, if you could click the link below, hit subscribe, hit like, and most importantly, hit share. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about when and why you should buy your first rental property. Okay, so I recommend that before you go and buy a rental property that you buy a homestead. And the reason why is because if you're a homestead buyer, you get your homestead exemption. You can go ahead and start writing off your interest. You can write off your taxes. You can write off those things on your taxes, and plus also you're not paying rent anymore. I mean, rent is 100% interest, and that's why I try to be on the other side of the rental market where I'm actually receiving rents, because it's 100% interest. When it's time to buy your first rent house, it's after you buy your first homestead, of course, but it depends on how you're going to buy your first rent house. I mean, most people that buy rent houses are not in the game or in the hustle of the rental business. Usually they're working with a realtor, and then they're getting approved financing, and they're putting a down payment down and all that stuff. That's fine and dandy if that's the way you want to do it. We have a different method of doing it over here, but when I go back to my W-2 days when I was working for big Fortune 500 companies, and I didn't really know the real estate hustle as it is today, yeah, you go put your 20% down, go get a loan and make an offer and stuff like that. You can do that. If you have the ability to put 20% down and the interest is right and it's going to cash flow, by all means, knock yourself out. Some things that you want to look for when you're buying your first rental house is, look, thou shalt not buy pre-1960. Look, you got asbestos in the sheetrock, you got asbestos probably in the linoleum floors, crappy wiring, you've crappy electrical panels, plumbing is probably cast iron. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that is going to be costly for you to code or bring up to date. So in my experience, the best rent houses are post 1980. You got PVC underneath it. Yeah, you still have copper water lines and stuff like that, but there's a lot of good materials in these 1980s up. There's good insulation in them still, and you're going to find less problems in the houses that were built in the 1980s. Of course, the 1990s were better. The 2000s were better. The 2010s were even way better. You got more efficient windows, more efficient insulation, more efficient plumbing and stuff like that. So the newer the model that you can have, better quality that you're going to have on your rental, which is going to keep your capex down. I go back to the houses that I have from the 60s and the 70s, and those houses are the ones that run up the most on capex. We got a lot of Home Depot calls, a lot of broken pipes, a lot of flooding. There's just a lot of problems with the older houses, especially when the winter storms come. But part of my leases is I literally tell people, you're going to drip the faucets, and you're going to drip the faucets some more, and if it gets down below a 0, I need you to cut the water off at the main, fill up the bathtub first, and that's how you're going to feed your toilet, is by moving water from the tub to the toilet when the water's cut off. And that right there, when it's below freezing here in Texas, these pipes usually do break. I mean, go do some research on them. I'm just telling you, the older the houses, the more problems you're going to have with them. And when you're buying these rent houses, if you can get a nice 2006 build and a nice 2010 build, probably going to be in really good shape, and you're really not going to have a lot of maintenance other than, turnover when tenants tear them up, dog urine, stuff like that. And that stuff right there, that just being cosmetics, is a lot easier. But if you're not prepared for, mishaps, you're not financially prepared for it when problems and uh-ohs come up, look, this is not the business for you. This business is not for the faint of heart. But if you're mentally prepared for this, and you're financially prepared for this, and you can afford the payments, and you can take on the tenants, I'm telling you, this business is a great business to be in because of long-term wealth and long-term strategies. I got generational wealth to give on to my kids, and my kids can give on to their kids, because we're buying and we're holding and we're hoarding so many assets that we can just pass down for generations and generations. I'm really excited about the things that can be done. There's a good quote that goes from Will Rogers: "Don't wait to buy real estate, buy real estate and wait." I'm Ryan Jackson. Thank you for tuning in today. Click the link below to subscribe and also share, and I would appreciate it if you would like it as well. Thank you.